Today we're at Hoa Lo prison.
It was nicknamed the Hanoi Hilton by American prisoners of war. It is one of the most infamous prisons in Vietnamese history. Originally built by the French in the late 1800s to hold political prisoners and later used by the North Vietnamese during the Vietnam War.
Two.
Okay, so two in English, right?
Yes.
All right, we got our audio guide, so this will be our tour guide. Look at the glass on top.
Wow. A 100 prisoners were kept in this room, in this cell at one time.
I have read books and researched about the Hanoi Hilton and the place of unimaginable suffering and hardship. The prison was known for its brutal treatment of prisoners who were tortured, starved, and isolated. It's the bathroom.
This dungeon was used to confine prisoners who broke the regulations of prison. It was called the Hell of Hell dungeon. It was dark and narrow. Prisoners were kept separately and put into stocks and had to eat and relieve themselves on the spot.
Many prisoners spent years of solitary confinement going through beatings, interrogations, and other forms of psychological and physical abuse. Many suffered from PTSD and other problems long after their release, while others dealt with chronic health issues resulting from their time in captivity. For many prisoners, the Hanoi Hilton was a place of so much trauma that left lasting scars on their mental and physical health. Despite these harsh conditions, many prisoners of war formed close bonds and found ways to communicate with one another with secret codes and tapping systems through the walls of their cells, and they organized themselves into small communities that gave comfort and companionship for their hardships. Despite the horrors they endured, many American POWs who were held at the Hanoi Hilton also spoke of strength and bravery they saw among fellow prisoners. They spoke of moments of humor and camaraderie, as well as acts of kindness and selflessness that helped them survive the hell they were going through. For these prisoners, the Hanoi Hilton was both a place of darkness, where they faced unbelievable suffering, but also witnessed acts of courage and humanity that gave them hope and strength. I realized with war comes propaganda, and right away it did irritate me that the museum made it seem like it was a cozy and relaxing prison for American POWs, when everything I read about was torture. But in a blog post I read somewhere, it described it well and made me think about it more into detail. The Vietnam War was unpopular for both sides and a terrible past for America and Vietnam. Today, Vietnam is working hard to move forward from this difficult time and strengthen its relationship with the United States.
This is one of the people who saved John McCain after he parachuted into the lake in Hanoi. And this is Douglas B. Peterson meets with the man who found and took him prisoner. He came back and met with him.
Insane.
Listen to this. There are bodily wounds that heal over time, and then there are wounds of the spirit that do not heal even after decades. Pandola's your name? It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
How old are you?
How are you? Yeah, I'm 8 years old.
You're what?
I'm 7 years old.
7?
Yes.
7.
Cô đến từ đâu? Where are you from?
I'm from USA.
Yes.
Are you from here? Yes? Oh, cool. Nice to meet you. Cheers.
Beautiful.
I mainly knew about the 9 years when the American POWs were held there, but a majority of the prison is about the first 60 years when the Vietnamese political prisoners were held by the French colonists. And before visiting the prison, I did not know much about the history of Hoa Lo and the role it played towards Vietnam's independence. There is an interesting and terrible history within the walls of this prison, and I'm grateful we got the opportunity to learn about a piece of this Vietnamese history.
This is an underground sewer. On Christmas Eve of 1951, 16 death-sentenced political prisoners escaped through this. That is a tight squeeze.